Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. It's great to see every one of you. Um, Divine is here. Nonso is here. Lima, Precious. Others are coming on board. Okay, we're just waiting for others to join us, so we'll have a quorum before we commence fully. So please do bear with me, or bear with them also. Probably just a few more minutes, and then we'll kick off in earnest. Okay. Okay. We're gonna probably look into a few of the assignments I gave out yesterday, and typically I often ask the leaders to let's say share with me some of the assignments, and I would review them. I just checked and discovered that a couple of them that were shared with me, they don't have what's it called. Um, there's no edit access for some of them. Good, so I'm definitely gonna skip those ones. I think the one we have should be enough for us. Just a moment. Yeah, I know a lot of persons sent me theirs for me to review, but that won't be possible because I've not even gone through the messages. One and two is that the we can't go through all of them. Can't go through all the messages or the assignments that were submitted. That's why I often ask the um, the leaders to send me theirs. Just a moment. Okay, so all I have here is just 4. I think we'll work with that. We'll work with that. Let me share my screen so you see what I've got here. Okay, just saw Margaret's message. Margaret, I'm sorry, but can't use your this occasion. This one is doesn't have edit access. Please, if you're submitting, I told us before, if you're submitting your work and it doesn't have edit access, I will not review it. Ebuka, this work was not done on Google Doc directly, I think, because it was saved as .docx. .docx is Microsoft Word format. The goal is for every assignment to be done in Google Doc format, .doc, Google Doc format, and this one is not done so. And you see, I can't even edit it all, so I'm going to close this one. Perhaps some other time I can review your work. Dockers. Okay, this is Dockers assignment. Okay. Very quickly, let's go through what she has here. Dockers, your assignment, you're making a mistake when it comes to your headings. Look at what we have here on the left pane. On the left pane, you would notice that all the sections are of the same order. That means you did not use the right headings. Yes. Group leaders, please ensure that when you submit, ensure that in your group assignments are reviewed among group members, because this one there's no comment here, and that means no one actually reviewed our work at all. Yes. So okay, number one, look at the heading. The assignment actually defies some of the things we've thought thus far. Number one is that the title used title. Now in our foremost class on headings, I told us that we have no business with this title here. Okay, so .com made a mistake of using it. This ought to be heading 1. Heading 1, not title. So I'm going to change it to heading 1. Okay, I'm making suggestions so she would see what I did. Or let me just go straight up. Okay, it's not going to editable. Okay, it's not editable. I don't know why you said this so. What's it called? Dockers. Your work is not editable. I can only make suggestions, and that's not so cool. Your A here is meant to be lowercase a, because it's an article. You get okay. Meaning of thou. Okay, that pass. Look at this part. I told us that it is a pronoun. It should be capital letter I. Good. And then the W, capital letter W. Okay, sorry. And then there is no full stop at the end of your You don't put full stop at the end of your headings. Don't do that. I mentioned that to us earlier. Okay. Just a moment, guys. Just a moment. Okay. Okay, back to where I was. Now, merit of thou. The word merit is not a common word you use for articles. I think you would have better off using benefits of thou. Okay, and even if you come down here yourself, I would have preferred something like what is the meaning of thou, because it's more like what people search for. Okay, we're not done keyword. Probably when we go down to keyword, you will understand better. Okay, something like this could also be what are the benefits of thou. What are the benefits of that, because it sounds more like what people are searching for. Okay. Now, let's go back to the top. So we've established that this is meant to be H1. This one is meant to be an H2 rather. And this space we are seeing here is not necessary. There's a space here. We're going to leave the space. Our work is not editable, and that's why you can't see the changes I'm making. You get this one is also meant to be H2. There's a space here above here. I'm going to delete it, so that it's showing delete paragraph here, more like a recommendation. So when she comes on board, she's going to see it. This one is also meant to be H2, and this another H2, okay, and this H2. Now, why we are only having just H2 is that all of them are of the same cadre. None of them is meant to be a H3 here based on the way they are arranged. Had it been under these setbacks of DAO, she put some points there. It makes more sense. You know, if there are points like some other subheadings, those ones become H3. Okay, beyond that, I don't think there's nothing again for that. What are the benefits of DAO? What are the setbacks of DAO? Now, this word setback, like I said, there are certain words you cannot. There's certain words you can you shouldn't use for headings of an article. It doesn't mean it's correct, it's wrong. No. The words are correct. However, they are not the typical words people search for. Because when they come to when they come on board, what's it called? When they go on Google search engines. So I'm going to leave that as it is for now. And for introduction also, guys, let's try and avoid bullet points in your introduction. These are intro, and we're having bullet points, so let's try to avoid it. It's not always the best. Now, it doesn't mean it's not correct. Some big guys are doing it, but I don't think you should, you should start doing such a thing for now. Probably when you have better experience and the clients you are working with the demands for it, you should go ahead. But for now, it doesn't add up. Okay, so I'm going to ask remove. Let me take it off a bit. Remove bullets from your headings. Okay, this sound better. Okay, and we also seen that work is not aligned to the right. Okay, it's not aligned to the justified. So you're gonna align everything. Control A. Then you go to the settings and justify. Get. I think it's better now for somehow. You notice I'm not reading it. Okay, let's take this one up. Let's bring this one up. So it will be one paragraph. All this thing I'm doing, no one is even seeing it because of the way our work is. Please, subsequently, anybody's work that is not editable, I will not review it. I will not review it. I think let me stop here so that we'll focus on other people's work that are editable. Okay, this is Victoria's work. Okay. She also made the same mistake. The title is meant to be heading 1, not title. Get heading 1, not title. Okay. Now I told us something that in one of our classes. I told us that we have no business with Wikipedia. Wikipedia may be a great resource, but please do not reference it in your work. We have no business with Wikipedia whatsoever. Please avoid it at all costs. Do not reference it in your work. That's one. And two, I also told us that your sentences, your paragraphs should be short. Let's aim rather for 2 or 3 lines per paragraph, or let's say 2 to 4 lines per paragraph. You get 3 lines or 4 lines per paragraph maximum. You shouldn't go beyond 4 lines. And we are seeing in this case that she's having 5 lines per paragraph here. This other paragraph has 6 lines. The other one has 5 lines and stuff. You get. And if you also check the first sentence we have here, it has 49 words. Guys, that's massive. That's massive. It's a complex sentence. We don't need complex sentences, guys. So Victoria, your work needs a massive revision. You get this other sentence too. 41 words, complex. Yeah, and it's very important, guys. I go through these revisions mainly because I want us to come up to speed. I want us to know what I look out for, or what clients look out for in the standard article. You get, but much more than that, I want to see how much what I taught probably in the previous classes are being implemented. Okay. So I beg of us, it's important that if you miss a class, don't just go do the assignments. If you miss a class, go back and watch the videos. Get, if you don't watch the videos and you go ahead to make an assignment and your group leader sends your work over to me for revision, you may spend so much time trying to fix something that's already been discussed. Because so it's expedient that you go through these videos. I know for certain reasons you may not be up to speed, probably because of network or other challenges. However, please, whenever you come on board, whenever you finally have internet or whatever it is to go to review all of them, please go through the videos before you do the assignments, because you can never tell what you miss out when you don't do so. You get. So Victoria, I would recommend you go through some of the other videos. I also told us on the onset that your introduction is meant to be 50 to 100 words. Sorry, 50 to 150 words. You are having 202 words here in your introduction. That's too much already. That's too much for an article that is meant to be 600 words. You've already taken 1/3 of the entire stuff to your introduction, and that's not cool. Now, I'm seeing something else here. PC Mag has this to say about the style of DAOs. Now, PC Mag is a website that does tech stuff. Is into tech, tech review generally, and for your client to ask you to write an article on DAO, your client's website probably into tech also. This is like saying, mentioning PC Mag, like saying that MTN hired you to do an advert for them, and you're mentioning Airtel inside the advert. It doesn't add up. So we are looking for how not to mention competitors at all costs. So if this is a tech article, PC Mag is definitely a competitor, and we should avoid mentioning their name, indiscriminately. And you also gave a quotation from them, a quote from them. Now, in as much as this sounds normal in the average, if you're writing a news article, this would fly. But you're writing a blog post, this doesn't add up. This will pass for plagiarism. Like, okay, if I run it on Grammarly, you're gonna see that Grammarly is gonna flag that section for plagiarism. Yeah, it's coming up. It's taking forever to come up. So let's just wait while it comes up. You see that this entire section will be flagged for plagiarism, and your work would be probably only about if I'm not wrong, about 90 something or 80 something percent original. That singular thing you copied from this guys, even though you quoted it, even though you showed that as a source, it will impact negatively on your work. Also, look at this place, guys. I told us that whenever you're using long dash, avoid putting a space. Yeah, look at this section here. Section here. Don't put a space between the long dash and the other word. So I'm going to move the space here now, guys. Okay, it seems better this way. These paragraphs are long. Yeah, these paragraphs are long. They can become smaller. This part, stages involving creating a DAO. This part should not. You don't need numbering here. What is best here is bullets. So I'm gonna mark this entire section and use bullets for it instead. All these extra spaces we are seeing here, there are not much consequences. This work was obviously from mobile device, I think. So if I was gonna publish this article myself, I'm gonna probably highlight everything first. If I highlight everything, I'll go down to what's called go down to format. Click on line and paragraph spacing, and then add space after paragraph. Now, when I do so, you see that all these extra spaces would just be everywhere. So I'm going to remove these spaces and stuff. Now, you don't need to do this if you wrote from your mobile phone. You can't do this stuff from your mobile device. It's only those that used a PC to write that can do this. Okay, guys, look at this paragraph. Also very, very long. So Victoria, please go through your work again. Okay, look at this place. When you do that thing I did, highlight everything, go to format, line and paragraph spacing and add space after paragraph. When you do that, it affects your bullet also. In the cases where your bullet is just probably doesn't have each point is just one line, you may have to remove this stuff. You may have to remove the spaces attached to them. You may come down to this point and remove bullets and put it again, so it becomes neater. So I'm going to remove the spaces. So if you wrote yours with a mobile phone, don't bother about these things I'm doing. You guys just use a normal enter button to create spaces. I was going to check a work for plagiarism. So okay, it's coming up. Yeah, we want this one. Okay. Okay. So I just pasted that work here. Let me check for plagiarism. Don't worry, we're still gonna talk about Grammarly, in view. Okay, so guys, you're seeing that 7% of our work is not original. Look at the top here. It says 7% plagiarism. You get now. This section was marked for plagiarism at the top here. This other part was also plagiarized. It was also plagiarized. If I click on this link now, you will see that this text was used the same way, was lifted the same way. Okay, let me do it so that it's not just I'm just making hypothetical deductions. Okay, these two sections, you see this from here to here was copied from this website. The only difference between this one and where she copied it from is this part here, digital. This is the only word she changed. You guys, everything was copied, word for word. And okay, let's check. Let's check. So it will be as I'm making vain accusations. Okay. From grammar, it's also copied from what's it called? A wiki site. Wikipedia is Wikipedia, guys. Don't do any business with Wikipedia. You can go there to read and research, but don't base your information on them. Okay, guys. Now see what we have here. Centralized autonomous organizations are typified by the use of blockchain technology to provide a secure digital ledger to track blah 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 blah. Okay, let's watch it has. Guys, can you see the same thing? Are typified by the use of blockchain to provide a secure ledger to track. In case to track. Now you get the points. So she changed financial and put digital. You get. After that, other things continued. Interactions across internet continued. You get the same year or network. The same year. You get. So you see, the only thing she changed here in this entire stuff is digital. Guys, that's plagiarism. It's not acceptable. Get. Okay, this section I was even thinking that was plagiarized. Grammar did not say it. Okay, I don't want to dig further, but then if it was copied that same way, it should have been highlighted. But then I think you got the point from painter. So please let's have plagiarism at all costs. Okay, okay, whose work is this? Daisy's work. Daisy, your work needs a lot of massive improvements. The first one being that you did not use what's it called? You did not use title case here. This is meant to be capital letter A, capital letter O. You get. And the title of this article is not this. The title of this article is "What is Thou?" Has a title of the article, guys. That this one is not necessary. Yeah, even if you were to you were expected to use this stuff, you don't just write decentralized organization, decentralized autonomous organization. This has to be in brackets, guys. Brackets. It doesn't have to dangle this way. But this is not even a title, so I'm going to yank it off. DAO, often called dark decentralized autonomous, is at the first mention of an abbreviation, guys, in your article. At the first mention after your title, please ensure that you use what's it called. You write it in full. At the first mention, please ensure you write it in full. Please, very important. And like I said, avoid using bullets in your introduction. Avoid using bullets in introduction. It's not necessary, guys. Avoid it. Avoid it. And I'm not saying some big guys out there don't do it. Some big websites out there do it. But then I'm trying to show you what is standard. You get, and I'm trying to show you what if you do for your clients, probably about 80%, 90% of them will be okay with it. You get, so you don't copy things that some of these established websites are doing, because they're already top shots, so they can afford to do anything they want to do. If you're doing this for a client that you're just starting off, probably guys going to yank you off. Okay, so this part, how does that work? This D is captured at the title case. I explained this in one of our videos. Title case, very important, very important. This is too short a heading. This is too short a heading. Number one, I don't see why it's even an H3. How does that work? Example of that, this is on its own. There is no relationship between how does that work and this one. So this guy here ought to be an H2 if it must be an heading. You get, if it's not going to be a heading, you could just probably just look for how to weave it into this particular section and say examples of that will include, something like examples of those include, and something like this. No bullets, CSF, no bullets. Get, no bullets. Just take off this guy. Dash, is dash a DAO? Is dash a DAO? I can't verify this, but then let's just continue. And Olga. Now remember, I told you guys that if you're gonna ever write what's it called, if you're gonna write a list and make a list of items, and they're up to 3 or more, before you write the and or as the case may be, there should be a comma. That's why I put a comma here. Please, everything I say in those videos, we'll go through them again. Their importance. Now, what are those for? The are is a verb. Are is a verb, and I told us that the only set of the only parts of speech that should not be capitalized in the heading are prepositions, conjunctions, and article, if they are not up to four letters. Okay, so are is a verb and should be capitalized. D is also a verb. We is a pronoun. Need is a verb. Okay. Now you create a table, good, but this table we don't even know. Let's create let's create a distinction between the headings in the table and the body. So I'm going to mark this part, make it bold. Okay, so when you look at the table, you know this part is the heading and this other part are the body. Okay. Now this is a conclusion. We are seeing something that is pretty more than 5. It's more than 3-4 lines that we recommended. This is about 2, 4, 6 lines. It's not permissible, so we're going to break it down into 2. Okay. I believe that's that. This is the last one. So guys, listen, I'm saying, please try and implement them in your article. If notice, I'm not reading this stuff. I'm just going through structure first. What I'm looking at is structure. Structure. It's very important that we know structure, because if you don't get structure right, you cannot man, no one will read the article. So let's get structure right, and then I will continue teaching us, how to make our work better, when the person is reading it. So I'm going to close this one, and then I'm seeing comments about reviewing other works. Guys, I'm really very sorry, but I cannot review another work tonight, because what we have for today is quite much. What we have today is quite much, and I want to see how we can cover so much. And we are beyond schedule. So all these things I'm correcting here. If you know your work is also, let's say your work has similar challenge, please endeavor to go back to your work and correct them. So everything that I do here is not just for one person, it's for every one of us. So if I say, okay, that you're meant to use headings in your work, it means that everybody that has done something that didn't use heading, they should go back to their work and correct it. It doesn't add up that after each of these classes you don't review your work. Please, even if you've submitted your work yesterday or you're yet to do yours, ensure that after each class you go through your work and look for how to implement the corrections I'm dishing out. So let's go back to what we have for today. Okay. The first thing I'm going to look into is transition words. Transition words. Now, most times people write articles that lack flow. People write articles that lack flow. When I say articles lack flow, it means that it's not interesting to read. Okay, now let me look for someone else's assignment as example to check if there's a flow there. Okay, just a moment. Let me check for another person's assignment because I'll have to use this as a means of checking for the transition words. Okay, let me use Praise Tom's assignment. Praise, send me your work via WhatsApp. Okay. Okay. Okay, so while I wait for it, as I was saying, transition words basically are words that are words and phrases that enable, that shows that well, I say, how do I paint this stuff so it makes complete sense? Okay, that enables the reader to flow. Oh God, definition English voila. How do I define this things? There's some things I just can't define. This is how it works, but man, you don't even know the best choice of words to define it. But then, let me put it this way: when you're making a sentence, when you're making a sentence, let's say you're writing a paragraph, you don't just say I am a boy. I live with. Okay, perfect. Let me do an example so you guys will get what I'm trying to talk about. Okay. Hold on. Where's my whiteboard? Okay, this I am. So number one, transition words. Transition words. Now, let's say something like I am a boy and I live in California. Okay. Yesterday, Jacob visited me. Jacob visited me. What am I writing here? Okay. He asked me to join him in a hiking spree. Okay. I didn't want to go. He waited for about 4 hours trying to convince me. I accepted later. Okay. I didn't want to go, but he plagiarized me. Accept the later. I later liked the experience. Now, guys, this is an article a short sentence I just put out there, and if you look at what I have here, it's Well, let's say it's a bit cranky. Now this is probably about 50 words or thereabouts. Yeah, 55 words. He said, I am a boy. I live in California. And I live in California. Yesterday, Jacob visited me. He asked me to join him in a hiking spree. I didn't want to go. He waited for about 4 hours, trying to convince me. I didn't want to go, but he plagiarized me. I accepted later. I later liked the experience. Now, this is what's it called? This is what someone wrote. Then let me show you. Let me show you what transition words can do for your article to make it make more sense. Okay. Um. Okay. Let me copy this entire stuff and then paste it again. I'm a boy and live in California. And California. Um. Jacob visited me. Okay. Now asking me, visited me. Okay, Jacob yesterday. Jacob visited me, comma, and asked me to join him on a hiking spree. Okay, this is the first one. Although, okay, I didn't want to go. Okay, I didn't want to go, but he waited. These are the words I'm introducing now. But he waited for about 4 hours trying to convince me. Okay. 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 Due to his persistence, I eventually accepted. Okay. Due to, okay, let me like this. Due to, oh sorry, this is persistent. I eventually accepted. I eventually accepted. Okay. Truth be told, brother. Truth be told, I ended up liking the. I ended up liking the experience. Okay, guys. I just did two different sentences, the same thing. I just made so a few changes here and there. The first one, okay, let's review. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about both of them? Which one do you think make more sense? Which one do you think appeals more to you? Okay. Okay. So if you I'm waiting for responses, but then I'll just go straight up to explain both of them. Now, the first one is just it's just bland. It's just bland. It's just there. You get the each of the sentences are correct sentences. However, they don't have a flow. There's no relationship between the previous sentence and the next one. Get it's just like you just writing straight up points and stuff. In the second case, I edited it so that I introduced certain words that didn't just make the work shorter. It also made each sentence to have a natural connection with the other. So transition words basically they serve as bridging words. They serve as bridging phrases that connects two or more ideas together. You get so transition words they are like bridges. They connect two or more what's it called sentences together. You get in this case I have to bring due to. Get due to is a transition phrase. Eventually, it's a transition word. Truth be told, that they look all of them. I can't exhaust them. So I got a link online that probably does justice to it. I'm going to share this with you. Let me drop this whiteboard link to the whiteboard itself in what's it called the stuff for you guys, so that you can assess what I'm doing here. Just a moment, it's coming up. Okay, why it comes up? This is transition word article. It contains lots of traditional words that you can use in your articles. You get things like, okay, let me see, the one I use recently, eventually. Let me see if I can find it on this list. Eventually. Okay, good. Now, eventually is here. This eventually, I use it in that example I gave. Let me see if they have due to here. Due to, okay, due to is here. Get, these are just good words or phrases that create a bond between two stuff. Let me see. Truth be told, if something like that is okay, that one is not here. Okay, so I'm gonna drop the link to this stuff. So you would do me a favor. Number one, you go through that link. When you go through the link, try to see the various contexts that those words can fit into. Read the page, read that entire article, guys. Read it completely, so you would have an idea. See, if you don't know what's it called, put in the work. If you don't put in the work, you cannot be a great writer. It's not be your mouth. It's not by just saying wishful stuff. Get okay. I'm trying to share this stuff. Okay. Okay, so I just dropped the link there in the group for you. The Google Doc, the whiteboard I'm using for today. If you open it, you will see the link to this document. Guys, guys, I was saying something. I said if you don't put in the work, you cannot be an excellent writer. And when I look at my journey thus far, some of the opportunities that I'm sharing with you guys, I never had it. There was no this one person that was there to guide me. There was no one person that I learned also from. Everything I'm sharing with you guys now, these things are English grammar. And funny enough, when I was taught this stuff for the very first time in school, they didn't make sense to me. That was probably in secondary school. And until I started my writing journey, I'd never heard of transition words. So I was never taught this stuff in school. I didn't meet clients that asked me to put them or whatever. I just knew that somehow there was this intuition that this is how a good article is meant to flow, and I tried to use some of them in my articles. And as time went by, I started doing more research and realized, okay, this is the norm, this is the standard. What I'm doing is not out of place. This is how great writers do stuff. Now, if you go through the other things for today on that whiteboard, you see things like auxiliary verbs, active and passive voices, and the rest of them. No one taught me these things, guys. Get so, but I went the extra mile. I went the extra mile to know what this is all about, know how to apply them in making my articles great. And if you want to be a great writer, if you want to stand out, you need to put in the work. I'm taking you guys now on what's called on content strategy, on content writing. Before this class started, I was taking a course on my own. There's another course I'm taking on something totally different from what I'm teaching you guys. This is me building myself up to ensure I'm the best at what I do. Most times when you hear about, what's it called? Someone like Ronaldo will tell you something. They say talent is not enough. You get, without the hard work, you're going nowhere. And the problem most of us have is that we are quick at taking different skills. Today you are taking writing skills. Tomorrow you are taking makeup skills. The next day you're taking affiliate marketing skills. Next day you are taking a lot of skills. Now, in as much as it's good for you to gather several skills, tomorrow you are doing web development. Perfect. You are looking for how to probably have a foothold in different places. Now, these things, if you don't probably learn how to become a pro at something, you won't have a good voice. You need to put in and some of you see these things as side hustle. Guys, writing is not a side hustle for me. It's my full-time job. I was almost canceling this class because one of the companies I work with, I scheduled a meeting for one of the CEOs, and the meeting was meant to hold by 7 p.m. but somehow went to hold by 8 p.m. actually, being the time for this class, and I had to reschedule the time, and the lady didn't see the what's it called, notification early enough, so she didn't show up for the stuff. When she came back on board, she was like, okay, the agreed time was 8 p.m. and I was like, no, I had shifted this time the previous day because I had another meeting today, and after much ado, she accepted to work with a new time altogether. And when I told her that when I gave her the opportunity for her to choose a time convenient for her, she chose also another time frame where I'm not disposed. You get, and I was looking at the entire, so like, man, from morning till dusk, my calendar is all piled up, different meetings here and there, different tasks here and there, and this is work. You get, the fact that I work from home does not make me any different from somebody that, you know, that probably goes to the bank in the morning. I have companies I'm accountable to. I have CEOs that I need to give response to. I have people that I have to tell, that I have to give them reports on what my previous day was like. So writing is not a part-time job. It's not a side hustle. If you come to the point where you see it as the real deal, you're gonna put in a lot of hours into it. You're gonna put months into it just to see that, you know, you come up to speed, you learn the skill perfectly well, and you pitch yourself to clients and get good jobs. So I'm saying this because I have passion for this stuff, but passion is not enough. Hard work is what makes you the difference. So guys, I'm gonna go back to the work and let's see how it flows. Please endeavor to go through this particular stuff. Go through them, read it one by one, read it line by line, for you to, so they will sink your head. When you start writing, these examples will start flowing through you. If you don't read them, they're not gonna make sense to you. They don't know. You won't remember them. The Bible said the Holy Spirit brings to remembrance all things that we've known. You get, so if you don't read it, what will it bring to remembrance? You get, so guys, please, there are different sections of transition words here. We have transition words that are used to show agreement or concordance. We have the ones that are used to show opposition. We have the ones that are used to show cause and condition. You know, something like in order to, for fear that, to the end that, in hope that. These are transition words. You need to start using them very well in your articles. Get bunch of them, and I can't start going through all this one by one. So I'm going to skip transition words with the hope that you're going to go through it on your own free time. Now, the next thing we're going to look into now is active and passive voice. Okay, active voice. Okay, let me. Okay. Oh no, what am I trying? I thought I was going to check it out. Okay, active voice. Now, when okay, two ways for you to. Let's put it up here. Okay, now when you're writing an article, there are two major voices you can use. The first is an active voice, and the second is passive voice. The entire idea behind active voice is something we learned in school. One piece of we learned in school, and that is subjects. Okay, let me come down here. Active and passive voice. Active voice. Okay, guys, really, I don't know how to say this again. Man, you guys should put in the work. You guys should put in the work. You know, when I go through assignments as my first day, some of these like the third assignment, and we're making the same mistakes we've made in the beginning. Get, it's not really encouraging. Okay, I just don't know why I'm talking this passionately this night. You know, when I go through the assignments, you know, it's not encouraging one bit. Okay, see, this needs attention. Okay, if you've done 3 assignments concurrently, you shouldn't be making certain mistakes again. If you've seen me review other people's work, you shouldn't make certain mistakes again. Okay, we need to actually there should be evidence of growth in our work. I'm seeing the evidence, but then it's not as much as I want to. Get, guys, writing is reading. My first 1 million naira, it was writing that paid me. That I make millions every single month is writing that everyone. If one checks my bank statement and you are seeing 7 digits, you are seeing 8 digits per month, it's from writing. It's not whatever anything that one does, probably investing in crypto or NFTs. And this one's like what I call my side out also. But writing is a full job, man. It's what pays the bills. If I'm living affluently, if I'm doing this, it's writing. Get, and one cannot come to that point if you're not taking this thing seriously. Get, I know a lot of people that, you know, man. When I was back then in school, I had a neighbor. Then the guy was a developer. Was a developer. Then I say developer. This guy spends partly. If I'm not wrong, the guy. Okay. I had a generator set. The guy has one. I would go to turn off my generator set by about 2 a.m. in the morning, and I would see this guy through his window on his PC, on his laptop. He's coding. Get me? I was a computer engineering student. This guy was a physics and industrial physics student, and he's coding. Whereas me being the tech guy in quotes, I was playing games with my laptop. It never made sense. Few years down the line, we saw this guy become a very top shot, the developer working for IBM, living outside the country and everything. And it took me a long time for me to realize that I wasted, a reasonable amount of my time in school. So guys, very importantly, if you want to take this stuff serious, I don't see the need that you show up in classes every day, you spend hours here doing this stuff, you do assignment, and you don't make the most out of it. It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. You get? Please give this your best shot. One of the guys that works with me, one of my interns, he stopped working with me just this month, and he called me later. He called me just some minutes before I came online for this class. And what he was asking me about, it was an interview he had with the clients. He's going to have the clients. He wants me to give him ideas on how to go about it. You get? Now this guy, when he gives me his stories, it makes me mad. You get? This guy moved from earning 6 figures with me to earning about 7 figures on his own. Just in the space of about 8-9 months. You get? Working with top firms now. If he was sluggish, if he was not putting in the work, he won't be where he is today. He's just 21 years old. Most of us are probably older than him. Now, age obviously not a function of probably how successful you can be or not. But then I want you to feel encouraged that you can make out time for this. You can actually put in your best and achieve something great. So guys, back to where we are. Now, active voice. Something we learned in school back then, we know that basically a sentence based on what we thought comprises what's it called, subjects and predicates. Okay, predicates, right? And we are taught that predicates is the verb and the object. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so let's call the subject S. Okay, S. Okay, and then let's call what's it called the objects. Oh, sorry. Let's call the verb V and the object O. Okay, so let's have this O. Let's have this V. Good. Now, guys, this is very important. Please take notes. A lot of us will make this mistake. This is what we are taught in secondary school about what a sentence is. You get? This is what we're taught in secondary school. Okay. Now, in a sentence that is considered active, this is the mode it's meant to take. An active sentence is meant to take this form: XVO. I'm going to explain. SVO means that the subject comes first, the verb follows, and then we have the object last. Okay, let's take for instance, I love you. Now, if you look at I love you here, I is a pronoun. Whenever, okay, subject in the most basic form. Subject is anybody or any entity carrying out an action. You get? So let me create that. Let me create that. What's it called? Base. Let me take this guy down a bit. Okay. So subject is the entity executing an action. Verb is the said action, or yes, right, is the action, and then object is the entity receiving the action. Okay, now this is good. So guys, look at what example we have here. I love you. This example, I love you. I is a pronoun. I is a pronoun, and most times subjects are always they're often nouns and pronouns. Yeah, they're often nouns and pronouns. Yeah, get. So it could be a person, it could be a thing, it could be a place. So when you say I is a person, and you know I is a pronoun that is used to depict a person. Get. So in this case, I is a one that is expressing a feeling, and that feeling is a verb which is called love. Is expressing it towards you. So it means that I, in this instance, I. Okay, let me get bullets. I is the what's it called subject. Love is the verb, and then you is the object. Good. In active voice, the sentence is meant to come in this format: SVO. Guys, notice SVO. So it means S comes first, V comes next, and O comes first. So if you look at this stuff, you see that our I is S, which comes first. Our love is V, which comes next, and O, so is the U, which comes last. Now, because this sentence followed this particular SVO order, we say that whoever wrote this stuff wrote it in the active voice. In the active voice. Let's take another example. Let's now consider the passive voice. Okay. In the case of passive voice, the object comes first, and the verb comes next, followed by what's called the S, or we have O and V. You get, and what's it called? In this case, I gave us two formats for this. The first one for active voice we have only one format, SVO. For this one we have two formats, OVS. So if you look at this one, you notice that what we just did basically is that we reversed the order. Instead of SVO, we have OVS. In this case, the object is being mentioned first before it's mentioned first ahead of the verb, and then the subject comes last. And in some other instances, you may not even have a subject, but the object comes first, and then there's a verb. Now let's write this example in a passive voice. This is what we're going to have. We're going to have something like this. Okay. Let me write this stuff. Yeah. Okay, good. So let's have something like this. You are loved. You are loved. Now, the you here is the entity receiving that action, loved. You get? The you there is entity receiving action, loved. You get? And because the entity receiving the action is coming first, is coming ahead of the action, this stuff is considered passive. You get? Now, this you, the you there is O, and the R there is also a verb, V. You get? And the loved is also a verb, V. I'm going to explain. Don't get confused. Now, just assume you didn't see this R. Just assume you didn't see it. Let's only talk about things that we saw in the previous example, which is I love you. Get? So you came back here, love came back here. Just ignore the R for now. Get? The loved is here, and we are seeing the object coming before it. So as such, this is already considered a passive voice. Get? I'm still going to explain what this R is doing here. I'm going to explain why it's important that we also look out for something like this. Get? But before we go there, let me give another example. Obi killed, okay, let's say Jackson or Jack killed a rat. And the rat was killed by Jack. Okay, guys, now look at this example. The first one is an active voice. The second is a passive voice. Yes. In the active voice, we saw that Jack is the entity that initiated action. So Jack, being the one that initiated action, is what's called the subject. The subject, it came first. The action is cued. That's a verb. And then the last one, the rat. The rat is the object, and that's the O. In this other instance, we are saying that the rat was killed. The rat here that was killed is the one that received the action. Get? So the rat is the object. What happened to it? It was killed. So it received the verb killed. And then finally, the person that did it is Jack, which is the subject. We have it here. Now, most times, I want to show you two ways for you to identify passive voice. In writing generally, clients do not want you to use passive voice. Clients do not want you to use passive voice. Passive voice is not acceptable. You get it? However, if you're doing literary content, let's say you're writing fictional stories, novels, and stuff like that, you can use passive voices. You can passive voices. But if you're writing articles and blog posts, very important, strive for active voice. And you need to know that when you're speaking it makes more sense when you speak passively. When you speak passively, it makes more sense. It sounds good. But when it comes to writing, what we do is that we write in active voice. So I know most of you are making the same mistake. I know most of you are comfortable writing in passive voice, but after this class, you're going to go through your works, you're going to go through your subsequent works and ensure that you make them passive. So you make them active. Okay, so I'm going to show us two ways to identify what's it called? Active voice. Identify passive voice. How to identify passive voice. Okay. Number one. Okay, number one is what's number one? The sentence structure. I've talked about this one. This is the what's it called? OVS stuff I mentioned earlier. Number two is the the presence of an auxiliary verb directly preceding a main verb. Okay, now this is where this stuff I showed you earlier come into play. This one and this one. Guys, let's pay attention. Okay, in English language we have two types of verbs. We have the primary, the auxiliary verb. You have the auxiliary verbs, and okay, let me go up. I think I wrote it here already. We have the auxiliary verb, and we have the main verb. Yes, that's two types of verb in English language. Now, when the auxiliary verb is like helping verb. Now, when you hear someone is an auxiliary nurse, it means that the person is like not like the main nurse. This one is trying to support the main nurse in the hospital. Okay. So auxiliary verb also serves as a supporting verb to the main verb. And there are two types of auxiliary verbs. One is the primary auxiliary verb, and the second one is the modal auxiliary verb. Okay. The primary auxiliary verb, we have things like do, have, be, has, what's it called? Is, did, was, had, done, and stuff like that. Verbs that are generally in the present or past tense of do, be, is, they are present and past tense, and all of them. These are the primary auxiliary verb. And then we have the modal ones, which is can, may. Now, if you look at this modal verb, they are often showing what's called intention. They are often showing things like what should be done, what can be done. You see can, it shows potential. I can do this, I may do this, I shall do this, I will do this, and I must do this, and these are the past tense. Yeah. Now, you don't need to get yourself confused about what's it called, whether it's a primary auxiliary verb or modal auxiliary verb. Just know that all these kind of verbs, there are many of them. I think there are many. How many of them do you have, Seth? Let me check online. How many auxiliary verbs do we have? Okay, let's see. Okay, they said there are 9 modal auxiliary verbs. Okay, wow, means I got all the modal ones correct. Shall, should, can, queen. Okay, I got this one correct. Okay, yeah, they say are there 23 or 24 auxiliary verbs? Okay, they say that 25 auxiliary verbs in all. So probably there are only 9 modal auxiliary verbs, and probably the many ones are primary auxiliary verbs. You get? So, but what other way you can make out time, go online and read about them. You get? And so the main verbs, on the other hand, the main verbs are the action, are the I don't know how to define them, but let's say are the common action verbs we know. More like something like sing, let's say sing, kill, cry, eat, laugh, bait, jump. These common verbs we know. Yeah, these are the main verbs. Now, these verbs we listed out here, they all have what we call present tense, past tense, and past participle. Yeah, present tense, past tense, and past participle. And when okay, let me write it stuff again. For sing, the present tense is sing, the past tense is sang, and the past participle is sung. You get? For kill, we have kill, killed, and killed. Okay. The present tense, past tense, and past participle. So, in a case wherein you have a sentence having an auxiliary verb coming directly before the past participle of a main verb, what you're having there is a passive voice, straight up. So in this case, let me take are here and take killed here. Good. If these things come like this together, and this one is coming first before this, they come together in a sentence, what you are seeing there is what we call a passive voice. Now let me look for how to what's it called to make it a sentence. The rats. Okay, let me use the past participle. Let me use were, because were is one of them. Let me use were because the past participle. Let's say the rats were killed by the cats. So because these guys are together, what we are seeing here is straight up passive voice. Good. So generally a passive voice occurs when an auxiliary verb directly precedes a main verb in a sentence. Good. Now, another way for you to identify these guys is let's say something like is when you have where is that? Okay, number 3. Number 3, when you have the word by preceding, okay, that preceding subject, directly preceding, preceding rather a subject. Now this is now. So whenever you see by a subject, most times, it's not all the time, But then when you let's say you have, okay, this instance here where we have the rat was killed by Jack. Yes, by Jack. Now by Jack is telling you who did something. You get, let's say I'm trying to get another example that fits in. I can't think of any for now. But then when you're by somebody, it means that okay, good, perfect. I've got another example. Okay. The party was organized by the UN. Get, now the UN is the subject here. This is an article. It can come before a noun and it's okay. So this is the subject. Get, when you see by the union, by somebody, it means that there's something that this last entity did. There's something that there's an action it took, and that's why we're saying by this. You get that? Why the word by, the word by try to point what's it called, point us towards the origin of an action. Okay, so even if you miss this one, the was here is an auxiliary verb, and this one here organizes the main verb. So even if you skipped this stuff mistakenly, look out for this one. When you see this one, you will know that it's possible that there is a passive voice here. You get the passive voice here, because this one here, this guy here is an object. The party is one that actually that it was on the party that. It was the party that received the action of organization. So the action that was conducted there was an action of organization. And the organization was done on the party. So the party is the recipient of the action, and the UN is the one that actually initiated it. Get? And because the object came first, this is a passive voice. Now, the way for you to go about it, the right way to go about this is for you to turn it this way. The UN organized the party. Yeah, this is the best way to go about it. Okay. So you see, it's even shorter, and at the same time, it's making more sense. So this is how to identify active and passive voice. I'm going to be looking out for these things in your software assignments, and I don't want to spend so much time here so that we can cover so much for today. If you have any question on any of these things, please ask the questions and I'll answer them even as I'm taking the class. So I've explained transition words. I've explained active and passive voice. I've explained auxiliary and main verbs, and I've explained. Okay, the next thing is point of view. Point of view. I'm going to see how much we can cover fast. I need us to go into content strategy full time, which is keywords, SEO, and topic cluster and a bunch of them. So let's see how fast we can go. Point of view. Now this one is also very important. When it comes to the English language, okay, points of view. When it comes to English language, the word points, the phrase point of view refers to the kind of pronouns we use in that what's called in the article. It's kind of pronouns we use in the sentence. Get? The point of view shows to whom what's it called, the speech is addressed to. It shows us the target audience. Who is the target audience? Okay, so generally, point of view refers to pronouns. Please, guys, are we following? If you're following, let me know, please. Let me be sure that everyone is with us. Okay, so point of view refers to pronouns, and there are 3 points of views. First person, second person, and we got the third person. Okay, now the first person point of view is more like speaking from the writer's perspective. So when you say you are writing the first person, it means you are taking your experiences, yourself into cognizance. You are pouring yourself into the article. Get? Now The first person is characterized by the use of words like I, we, us, our, and which one again? So I, we, us, our, I'm trying to remember. Okay, I think these are the ones I can remember for now. Okay, so like I said, in the first person pronoun, you are talking about yourself. You are just seeing things from your own angle. You get. So when I said okay, we went to the mall yesterday. We had a okay, let me look for an article I did in the first person. Just hold on, guys. Let me see if I can get another article from the first person. Okay. This is taking forever to load. Nigeria is a very funny country. Everything here is okay. It's so collection. I'm trying to look for an article that's not coming from. Oh, okay, it's loading up. Okay, let's see this. Okay. Okay, I'm looking for a particular article. Sorry, the Soul Collection, BCCN 3. Okay. Yes, guys, hold on. I want to look for a good way, a good example for this, something that fits in. Okay. Man, I can find this stuff probably. Okay, if I can find it, I'll probably just look for another example and progress. This particular article that was written, okay, I think I've seen it. Yeah, perfect. So this example I'm going to show us is I think it's at the largest extent I wrote it in the first person. Space okay, I introduced certain elements of first person here. Yes. Now, see this part here. Say, to be frank. Now, this to be frank here is a transition phrase. Phrase is a group of words. Word is different. This is a transition phrase. To be frank, I don't know much about what's it called secret level apart from its affiliation with the Soul Collection and the super dope VFX and videos rendered on its own page. But I know it will be powering the 10th anniversary sequel of Take This Lollipop scheduled to launch this year. Guys, this is a good example of the use of first person. Guys, first person, and most times where we use first person pronouns is probably if we're writing for a company's native blog, probably the content we're writing is for let's say MTN hires you to write the content for them, and the content is meant to be published in their website. What you're going to use in that instance is first person pronouns. You get most times. However, the standard point of view for writing is second person pronoun, which is where you use things like you, your. Yes, you and your. In this case, you're writing and the reader is seeing it as though you are speaking to him or her directly, one on one. So when the person is reading it, the person is seeing the passion. The person is understanding that this stuff was probably tailored for him or her. The person is understanding the pain points. You're not saying that let's say you're writing an article on probably on how to buy land in the metaverse. You don't say people that want to buy land in the metaverse can go here and they can click on this and they can click on that. When you write in the second person, you say if you want to buy land in the metaverse, you can go to this website, you can click on this. I understand that, well, not, you can't put I, you probably just write things that make the user know that you are channeling the entire idea towards him or her directly. But then there could be an instance wherein you can actually mix both of them. Some clients will want you to mix both the first person and the second person pronouns together. So this is an instance where I think what I did here for this product content, probably I think there was a mix of it. There's a mix of it. Is there a mix? Okay, there's a mix. Yeah. So I wrote in the third person. There's a you here. I wrote in third person pronouns. I'm sorry, rather I wrote in the second person pronoun. I also did in the first person pronoun again. So where was I? Okay. Yeah. So this is actually the two different stuff you're meant to write on. When you're writing the articles you're going to do for clients, opt for this. Avoid this at all costs. Avoid first person, except you are told otherwise. Please avoid first person, except you are told otherwise, because you can only tell where they're publishing the content. And clients are often when they write, when they ask to write for them, they're probably writing from a corporate perspective. So if you use words like I, the reader will say, okay, what is the I there? I thought this is a brand, I thought this is a company. So why are they using the words I there? So please ensure you avoid first person, except the client told you otherwise. And if the client told you otherwise, probably what the client has to use may be we and probably are, as case may be. Then third person is refers to people like they, their, Now in this context, you are writing as though you are referring to a third party. So when you say let's say a reader comes aboard your content and reading your article, and then you say something like if you want to build a project, okay, if anyone that want to build a project in the metaverse can first of all let's say buy a land. Let's say most people that buy lands on the metaverse, they don't they are probably experienced in how the crypto projects work. Now, the way you are saying that stuff, you are making the reader believe that you are telling him or her a story about certain persons, and that persons may not include him or her. So you are giving it like as though you're reporting a speech. The third person seems as though you're reporting a speech. You're talking about a third party. You are the first party, the reader is the second party, and the third party is any other person you're referring to in your content. You will say they, you will say them. The reader is saying the them as not him or her. Because there are different instances where you can use each of these different points of view. But for convention's sake and for what is mainly obtainable, I suggest you stick with the second person pronoun, except you are told otherwise. If you have any questions, guys, please drop. Okay, I think Ija said reader is the person of interest in the second person point of view. Yeah. Reader is a person of interest in the second point of view. Yeah, you're correct. So, guys, that is that for points of view. If you have any question, if you feel I'm going too fast, please let me know. Just call my attention. I know we've done a lot of things in just a few hours. We've reviewed assignments, we've done transition words, active and passive voice, auxiliary and main verbs, points of views. Now we're going to Grammarly. Please, if you feel that I am going too fast, call my attention, guys. So I'm patient enough. I'm going to go through it again to be sure that you are up to speed. Okay. Now, Grammarly. I'm going to introduce Grammarly to us before we go to keywords. The essence is that there are a lot of mistakes you're making currently in your articles, and I wouldn't want you to continue doing so. Okay. Grammarly is a tool for writers. Grammarly is a tool for writers. It's one formidable tool that every writer should have. Now, to access Grammarly, you go to Grammarly.com. Grammarly is an AI tool. The tool helps us to avoid certain common mistakes that you most likely would make, and probably you may not even notice you made it. Personally, I make several mistakes. Okay, someone said, sir, can using passive voice be classified as being too informal? Well, I don't think there's anything about informal stuff when it comes to passive voice. Guys, I think it's just passive voice there. Even in formal documents, we see people actually use what's it called passive voice erroneously. So I don't and even in informal documents, people also use it. So some persons may argue that that passive voice connotes informal writing style, but I don't necessarily agree. I don't necessarily agree. I just feel that it's a word of its own. Passive and active voice is a word of its own. It is it's a different category of what's called assessing work, and has little or nothing to do with being formal or informal. Okay, so back to Grammarly. Now, if you go to okay, I have what I have here is a paid account already, so that's why I cannot probably you can't see the changes, you can't see what I'm going to show you. But then this is a premium account. Most of you, if you go to Grammarly.com, I don't know what it looks like again. Let me try and see. I don't know what it looks like, but just this is the premium account, like I said, so I don't know what the free one looks like. So probably you just go on your website and just type grammarly.com. When you do so, you will see an interface that will ask you to register and blah blah blah, and as case may be. But then when you're done registering for Grammarly, on 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 this left pane, you will see something like apps. Now, this app shows us the different platforms where we can use Grammarly. The very first one is Grammarly for Windows. Now, if you install this one, you will have the Grammarly software as a software. The way you have a Microsoft Word installed on your PC, you're going to have this one installed on your desktop. Whether if you're using what's it called using PC Windows, you're gonna have it. If you're using Apple, your MacBook, you will have the one for MacBook there. So people use this one, good for them. But I don't like this one. I avoid it for many reasons. It's bulky. It's bulky. It's not it doesn't give this real-time feel that I'm looking for. Then the second one is the one for Chrome. Guys, this is the one that you need. You need this one. If you're using PC, install this one. When you install it, oh god, there are a lot of things I want to do, but I don't think it can show here. Okay, let me see if you can see it. I don't know if you can see. Okay, guys, I just clicked on the settings part of my system. If you can see that right hand part, please let me know. If you can see the right hand part of my system where there is relaunch to update Chrome, new tab, new window, let me know so I will know if I will continue explaining this or not. Okay, waiting for responses. If you can't see it, just say you can't see it, so at least either ways it's still a response. I want to know if I should continue explaining that or if I should just probably move on to something else. Okay, you can't. Okay, so say you can't see it. Okay, perfect. You can't see it. Now, since we can't see it, there's no point for me going through explaining how that works. But then on this right hand side, you can click on install Grammarly for Chrome. I already have it there, that's why it's not showing yet. When you install it, it will you just keep following the what's it called okay. Oh, you guys can see it. Perfect. So when you click on this button, this three dots at the top right hand corner, you will see settings. Settings is going to come up. Come down to on the left hand side, on bottom left, you see extensions. Click on extensions, and it comes up, and then you guys can see some of the stuff I have installed on this particular browser. Now one of them is Grammarly. One is Grammarly. So Grammarly is I think is another thing again. You may also want to install word counter. Word counter is a very important tool. It helps you to know the word count of probably a content that is not on Google Doc. Let's assume I come to the website here. I can mark this place. I like enter. This is not Google Doc. I can see I like it. Right click, choose count these words, and to show me number of words I've highlighted. These are called extensions. that are found on what's called on Chrome. Get. So these are right here we have what's it called we have Grammarly. So you can click on the top left hand corner, and then okay, just hold on guys a moment. Okay, then scroll up at the base there, you will see Open Chrome Web Store. When you click on Open Chrome Web Store, you will see like a more like the way we have App Store on your iPhones, and the way we have Google Play Store on your what's it called Android. That's how this one works. It allows you to probably install lots of different plugins and extensions that could enhance your experience using your devices. Okay. So the lot of them, a bunch of them, several of them that you could try out here. But then don't install what you don't need. What I recommended for you guys here are word counts. Word count down is T. It's taking time to load. When it loads, you can get it. Word count I recommended for you. Then Grammarly, you can get Grammarly directly from the website here. Now, apart from this one, we have two other ones for iPhone and for Android. If you don't have a PC, get this one. Get any of these two. Get and it comes like let's say it comes like a keyboard. I mean, the ones for mobile devices, they come like keyboard. And what it means that if you want to use it, you will have to use it to replace your default keyboard. So on phones, we have them as Grammarly keyboard, and we have them as for Android and Grammarly keyboard for iPhone. Get, you would have to replace them. So if you're not sure how to go about this, you can go on YouTube and search for how to set up Grammarly keyboard for Android, Grammarly keyboard for iPhone, and you get what's it called? You get results. Please learn to use YouTube. It's a very useful tool. Anything I'm showing you that you feel is techish and you don't know how to do it yourself, just check on YouTube and you're gonna see good results. Okay, so let's go back to the Grammarly for what's it called, for mobile devices, for PC rather. If you want to check for plagiarism, you can only do it from the desktop Grammarly. You can't do it on your Android, probably unless you visit the web version from your browser on your phone or on your PC. Get. Now, if you come to the My Grammarly, click on New. You can copy and paste. You can copy and paste what's it called? It's taking forever to load. Okay. Man, network is messed up. Guys, let's just bear with it. Okay. Is it coming up? Okay, you can copy and paste, like you see, they say type or paste. You can copy and paste your text. When you do so, okay, let me look for something and paste here. Whose work could I copy here now? Okay, just let me put someone's work. Okay, these okay, let me get Ebuka's work. Let me copy it here and paste. Now, guys, very important. Look at this stuff. When you paste your stuff here, Grammarly is going to ask you to set your default goals. Grammarly is a tool that is used for academic purposes, business purposes, general, and blah blah blah. And these things is asking is for you to decide the writing tone that the content takes. So based on that, Grammarly will give you suggestions that reflects the tone. If you choose academic here on that domain, it means that Grammarly is going to review your work as though it's a thesis work, as though it's a project. It's going to review it with very strict rules. Very strict rules. You can't have contractions, all these IT apostrophe S, or something like they are maybe THEY apostrophe RE. You can't have this in academic work. So Grammarly is going to take this into cognizance and know how to review your work. Audience, is it knowledgeable audience, general audience, as part, blah, 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 formality. But if you're not sure of what to do, you could just leave it the way it is on the default state. Just leave it on the default and click on done. Get. Now, guys, let's look at the work here. I'll focus on the right hand side. Now, on the right hand side, you see Grammarly gives you a rating I'm seeing some crazy comments on this stuff. Some crazy guys that probably, what I say, they're spamming our stuff. Please ignore those things. They spam. These are hackers. The hackers. If you click on one of those things, it may get your account hacked. Let's continue, please. On the right hand side, we are seeing what's it called? Writing assistance. The top one there, the first one you're seeing there, what's it called, is the overall score of your content. Now, this particular content, based on everything that is here, scored 80. And the parameters that was used to adjust this things are divided into what's it called? Correctness, clarity, engagement, and what's it called? And delivery. Now, correctness has to do with spelling, grammar, and punctuations. As you can see here, spelling, grammar, and punctuations. Clarity, these more what's it called? Simplicity. How simplified what's it called? Your content can be. Engagement, I think what's it called? The clarity, the engagement, the delivery, they are quite related, and I don't really know the best way for me to define it. However, when you start using this tool, you start learning certain things. You start seeing a lot of mistakes you were making before that you didn't know about. Because so you could use it in different ways. You can actually copy it and paste here, and then when Grammarly gives you corrections, you go to your main work and effect those corrections. If you copy your work from here and paste directly back in your Google Doc, it will be scattered. Yes, the format would have changed. It will be scattered. So I don't advise that. I don't suggest that. What you could do probably is just for you to, you can probably copy it here, see changes, and go and make it in your work. Or you use the Chrome extension, or you use the keyboard. Now, let me show you how the Chrome extension works. Okay, where is it? Okay, we'll keep it on whiteboard. Okay, now perfect. So I'm getting messages from my office. Hey, message everywhere. Okay, what's the time now? 20 minutes more. Okay, I just got some message from the office I need to attend to, but let me try and wrap this up very fast before I do that. Okay, this is what's it called? I want to show us how the extension works. At the top hand side here, you will see that just follow my cursor at the top here. There is what's it called? A Grammarly icon there. They wrote better. If you click on it, you will see that it's showing me the settings I've set up for it. Mine is a premium account. It's showing also that the language I'm using is American English on the default basis. And showing correct spellings automatically, show definition and synonyms is turned off. This is how I set mine to make it easy for me and stuff. But then the beautiful thing about this stuff is that at the base here, at the bottom right, there's a button there. If you have Grammarly installed, you would have a button there. At times it may show you G, or at times it may show you a number and red stuff or green stuff. This shows you that it is actively reviewing your work. When you click on it, it opens a pane, a right pane. Now this stuff shows you the certain errors and whatever. If you click on any of them, it will give you tell you why the stuff you wrote there, the position you wrote there is not correct, and blah blah. This one says it appears you have an unnecessary comma between the auxiliary verb had and the main verb done. Now Grammarly is pointing this stuff. Okay, it's pointing this stuff here because although do is what's it called? Is an auxiliary verb. But when it comes with had, it's considered main because you can say he has done it. You can use word like he has done it. So when it comes there, it's considered a main verb. So because of this reason, Grammarly is telling us that this is meant to be like this, almost like a phrase. But then we know that this is wrong because we're trying to make a list of verbs. So this stays like this. So Grammarly is not always correct, guys. You need to know that this is a robot. This is an AI. Not always correct. Showing us that there's going to be a full stop here. And okay, guys, perfect. Based on clarity, it's telling us that the sentence appears to be written in the passive voice. Consider writing it in the active voice. The rats were killed by the cats. The cats killed the rats. So you see, grammatically even shows us what's called passive voice and tries to help us to avoid them. Get now let's go yonder. Let's go down to what's it called this sentence. This one says okay, this other one is saying that this particular sentence is too long and it can be made shorter. I'm a boy, I live in California. Yesterday, Jacob asked me to join him in his item scale. I didn't want to go, but he pressured me. Yeah. So this is giving us what's it called um let's say how to making us shorten this stuff for us. And okay, so that one is, let me see, similar something to just Grammarly is just a very great tool and everything. Nouns and pronouns and blah 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 blah. So guys, if you look at what I'm seeing here, you know that this guy just helped us write better. Okay, I'm seeing a question from what's called Israel. It said any instance where done is clearly used as auxiliary. I can't think of any for now. I can't think of any for now. But then okay, let me see. Well, guys, I can't really think of any for now, but then probably later I can just come up with something for that, guys. So, you can see again another instance where we are seeing a passive voice. Was killed, was highlighted. Was killed, was highlighted, and you know, we can see that it's a passive voice also. Okay. So, guys, I believe this is that for Grammarly. This is that for Grammarly. Please download Grammarly, every one of us. Download Grammarly, every one of us, and stuff. Back to that is just question. Let me confirm that I'm right about done being a main verb. Okay, is do an auxiliary verb. Let me make sure I'm not wrong. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Do is one of three auxiliary verbs in English. Yeah. It's an auxiliary verb. So done is the past participle of do. Okay, so they all fall within what's called the auxiliary section. Okay, so probably later we can look for examples of where it comes to play. But then, from what I'm saying, it seems like done often acts in the capacity of a main verb, even though its origin is auxiliary. Get English can be complicated most times, but then we learn as small. Get okay, so I believe this is that for what's it called for Grammarly. Please, guys, if you you're not clear on anything, let me know. Not clear on anything, let me know. Get okay. We're done with these ones. Please, your subject articles should reflect them. I want us to before we go into, let me check our curriculum and see if there's anything I'm missing out before we dive into keywords. Let me come down and see. Oh Jesus, Baruch, Barade. Cut off line here. And I'm hungry. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we've talked about punctuations. We've talked about sentence structure and paragraphing. Thought about what's it called? Talk about this. We've talked about corporate and plagiarism of material several times. Okay, we've not used Q text yet. So let's leave this one. I'm going to come to it much later. Proofreading editing. We've been doing proofreading editing over since we started. Grammar premium. We've done Flash King grade, Kate grade level. So guys, you see that to that extent we've covered all the basic things under content writing. Get so I think it's time for us to move into SEO fully. Get so guys, I believe we're making progress. I'm glad. Wow, that's awesome. We're making progress. Um, SEO. Okay, I think it's going to go for me to just jump into keywords straight off. Okay, where's my whiteboard? Guys, before we go into SEO, please, do you have any question on the things we've done thus far? Let me clear my. Do you have any question on the things we've done thus far? Any question you want to ask? Okay. Um, I'm trying to just clear what's it called to make it a bit free for me to start what we want to do. Okay. Okay, no question. Perfect. Let's go straight to SEO. Okay, guys. SEO means search engine optimization. It's what I say. It's a series of strategies, series of what's it called practices geared towards making your content very visible on search engine result page. Now, search engine result page is called SERP, SERPS. When a company hires you to write content for them, okay, I had an interview today. A brand hired me to. Someone said, "Can a paraphrasing tool be used when writing an article?" No, don't use paraphrasing tool, guys. Avoid that. If you know any of them, don't use paraphrasing tool. Guys, the goal is for you to read, understand, and write in your own words. Paraphrasing tool can make you a terrible writer, and certain tools like Qtext and Copyscape can actually identify that you use all those tools. So please, let's don't use such things. Okay. So as I was saying, I got and what's it called? I got an a company reached out to me. A company in Asia reached out to me earlier a few days ago for me to work with them on a copywriting project, and I scheduled a meeting for them, and we met today, and now it was a very long what's it called interview session. End of the day, I turned down the job. Now they we are offering to pay. You see Asian companies, guys. They are amazing. I think I work with all of them, but some of them are not really the best. What I offering to pay was actually it's quite fair, from Nigerian perspective. But then it was something I couldn't take, not for any reason. So when they called the rates, I asked them, is it per week or per month? Because even if it's per week, I'm not going to take that something. It's like I said, they were seeing it from this guy is an African, probably because an African is going to take something quite low. And but the bottom line was that they are hiring me so that I can help them promote their products. They're hiring me because someone referred them to me. Obviously, they saw my profile somewhere, and they've seen what I've done, and they believe that somehow whatever I'm going to write for them will help their site gain more traction, to help their products gain more customers. Okay. Now, I'm not going to just do it because I'm good at crafting words. I'm going to do it because I'm an SEO expert. Okay. So when it comes to SEO, the goal is that you are trying to make the article as visible as possible. You're trying to make the product as visible as possible. You're trying to make the services or the brand as visible as possible. So SEO means every strategy, everything you do to the end that the content or the article you're writing gains maximum visibility. And the number one search engine where we target is Google. We have other search engines. We have DuckDuckGo. We have Yahoo. I think there could be a bunch of other. We have Bing. We have Yandex. Now all these things are search engines, but Google is the premium one. So everybody is looking for how to what's it called, is looking for how to get their content available on Google. You get. So we're gonna look more into this stuff. We're gonna actually probably spend a bulk of tomorrow looking into how to use them. Sorry, how to use SEO tools. Let me show you some of them. I have an active Uber Suggest subscription. I use Uber Suggest and I use SEMrush. My SEMrush account is messing up. I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with it, but it's been acting up. I think I renewed my subscription, but then I don't know why I'm not seeing what's got results. Okay, they're asking to sign in. Okay, let me hold on, guys. Let me try and sign in and hold on. I didn't know how I signed out in the first instance. Hold on, guys. Okay. While this comes up, probably I'm just gonna show you, take you guys through the um, the SEMrush environment. Good. So this is what's called the SEMrush environment. SEMrush can do a lot of things. There's a debate on which is better, SEMrush or Ahref. Now these are great SEO tools, amazing SEO tools. We're gonna look into how to use these tools for what's called content strategies, for content writing and stuff like that. So guys, look at the keyword session. From tomorrow, our assignments we'll be doing will be based on keywords. Okay, I'm doing keywords for assignments and stuff. Let me see if the suggest has opened. Guys, these tools can look very complicated and everything, but then they are simple. They are very simple tools. Basically, our time is fast spent, and probably why it's taking forever to load this to the taking forever to load. Let me just let them be for now, and probably by tomorrow we start up with SEO full time. We're going to look into keyword research. We're going to look into types of keywords, LSI. We're going to look into long tail keywords. We're going to look into a bunch of other stuff and see how we can actually chart a good course for ourselves. Okay, I have a question here. Someone said, please, I'm not still very clear on how to add links to an article. Okay, I'm going to show you one more time. Let's assume. Okay, let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. Let's assume that you want to add this site now I'm on is the site where the link, that's where the link, it has a link you want to add to your content. Go down to your article, go down to the article involved. If this is the part where you want to add the text, this live in California section, if this is the part you want to reference, you highlight it. When you highlight it, right click, scroll down, select link, click on link. Then that link you pasted from here, this link you pasted from here, you paste the link here. You right click and go down to paste the link there. When you paste the link, click on apply. The link shows up there. Get? Let me close this stuff so it becomes easy for you to see. So are you seeing that this part is having blue text now? It shows that link was added there recently. Yes. So I believe that's how to add links. Do you have another question, please? If there's another question, let's see questions you have before we call it a night. Okay, guys. Any other question? Today we will not be having assignments today. Let's just take a little break. So prepare properly for tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna give us assignments tomorrow that will be keyword based. Yes, I will show us keyword density. I'm going to show us a bunch of other things tomorrow. So the assignment we're going to do tomorrow would be very important. And guys, please, I expect that by tomorrow, these problems that we've been trashing for the past 1 week, I expect that tomorrow we will not be seeing such things subsequently. Get? I expect that you would have taken out time to go through everything I've taught thus far. If you missed any of these classes, please go and watch the videos. I'm doing this stuff on YouTube to the end that we can, what's it called? To the end that we can always go back and watch, and if there's something you forgot, or you feel there's something that you need to go back to, just go on YouTube there, get the videos and go back again to them. So I want to say something. Must we justify all articles? No, you must just justify articles. But if you're submitting an article to your client, ensure it's justified. It makes your work look neater. Yes, the client, when uploading on the website, may not justify. Because the clients may not justify when uploading. But then when you're submitting to the client, try to justify. It makes your work look neater. It makes the client see you as someone that's organized. Yes. Wisdom. What's wisdom saying? Okay. I can't see anything from wisdom then. So guys, okay. Could you take a few minutes to check my work? Wisdom, I'm sorry I can't take a few minutes to check your work. Probably some other time, but our time is already fast spent, and probably another day we may do that. If you're lucky to be chosen by group leaders, go through your work. Okay. So guys, thank you very much. It's been an honor being your short time coach during this class, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow again. Please do have a nice day. Good night.